Hello Muggles and welcome back to my Harry Potter kitchen, the YouTube series where I am baking my way through the Harry Potter books and making recipes for all the food and drink featured inside. If you missed last week's recipe where we made Hagrid's sizzling sausages fresh from the cabin, then make sure you check out the link down below in the description to catch up. But it's another Magic Monday, so let's see what new recipe we've got waiting for us now. If you're a fan of the Harry Potter series and you want to see more from my Harry Potter kitchen, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you get an alert every Magic Monday when there is a brand new video. But without further ado, let's get back into the book. Cool, so Hagrid is still with the Dursleys in the cabin, bringing Harry up to speed on all of his background and all the fun stuff he's got to look forward to in the wizarding world. So we're going to skip ahead to chapter 5, Diagon Alley. Now Hagrid is taking Harry all the way to Diagon Alley to get his stuff for school, and they are in a boat going across the water, and I think we've just seen our next recipe. Hagrid's coat seemed to be made with nothing but pockets. Bunches of keys, slug pellets, balls of strings, mint humbugs, tea bags. Well, we've made tea bags before, check out the links down below if you missed that one, but I guess we're going to do some humbugs. For this recipe you will need 400 grams of sugar, half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, 1.5 teaspoons of peppermint extract, 160 millilitres of water, and a few drops of black food colouring. Now, humbugs are a classic hard-boiled sweet that you can often find in lots of traditional British candy stores and also probably around the world now because they are that famous and that good. They are packed full of minty flavour, so ours will be as well, and they typically are black and white striped, but we're going to try and do something a little bit different and bring in some Harry Potter magic for you today. To begin, you'll need quite a solid saucepan as we're going to bring it up to a high temperature and pop it onto a medium heat. Add in your sugar and then sprinkle over your cream of tartar. Next, pour your water over the top and add in your peppermint extract. Stir through until it just starts to dissolve, but try not to overstir it as otherwise that might make the mixture crystallise. Slowly turn up the heat as we bring our sugar to the boil. We need this to reach 265 degrees Fahrenheit or 130 degrees Celsius, which is the hard ball point on our thermometer. This can take between 5 to 10 minutes, so keep an eye on it, be patient, and make sure it doesn't go over this point. As soon as it hits that temperature, remove the sugar from the hob and then let it cool slightly until it begins to thicken. Slowly swirling it around, you'll start to see the mixture thicken up, and when it's ready you can then pour it onto a silicone mat. We're doing this on silicone because the sugar won't stick to it and it will be easy to mould. Once you've got your 2 pools of sugar, take some black food colouring and drop a few drops into one of them. You can then take a skewer and move it around slightly just to help combine the colours, but we're going to fold this in properly shortly. Using a spatula, move the solid edges into the middle as they begin to harden. You want to keep on doing this until it stops becoming too sticky. Now, as we're going to be handling very hot sugar, you'll need to get yourself some heat-resistant gloves. Now, these aren't the typical cleaning gloves that you might have lying around the house. You need to get some specialist ones in that will allow you to mould the sugar without burning your hands. Once it's ready, cover the black just so it maintains its heat and doesn't solidify too much. Pop your gloves on and then begin to work the white sugar. Now, as you can see, when we start doing this, the white sugar is very clear and transparent, but as we slowly incorporate some more air, it's going to begin to go white, and that's because we're trapping all of those air particles in between the layers of sugar, which gives it the white finish. You want to keep on working at it, pulling it away to stretch the sugars and then folding it back on itself. Keep on going until it starts to really thicken up and you've got a nice white even colour. Once you're happy with it, cover it with the rest of the silicone mat, and now we can pay attention to the black sugar. For this we're going to use a similar technique but be a lot more gentle with it as we don't want to incorporate too much air, otherwise it will go grey. Once you've got a nice even colour, we now need to roll both of our sugar pieces into sausages. Do this so it is the full length of your silicone mat. Line the sugar sausages up side by side and then press them together gently. Once they're nice and even, you want to cut them in half, and then we're going to use this to stack up our first set of layers. Next, we're going to take our scissors and cut this in half again, and then stack that layer on top of our other. We're going to get one final layer out of this, so cut them again and then stack that layer on top as well. Now it's time to roll it down into shape, so we're going to gently roll it back and forth into a long sausage. As you can see, we're going to slowly extend those lines of white and black so they run all the way through our candy. For the standard humbug shape, you can just cut them and then round the edges off slightly and they are good to go, but you can also work with them to do something slightly different. If you want to make some wands, you can roll these out thinly and then give them a nice twist for a good finish. You can make some circular marbles by rolling the sugar in your hand, or you can even make some lightning bolts by rolling it down into a sausage and then shaping it. Now, a word of warning before you do spend too much time shaping these: when they make them in candy stores, they have specialist equipment that cuts and cools it down at the same time, so it locks it into its shape. Now, unfortunately, when you're doing it at home, it won't always hold the exact same shape, so you might lose some of the definition, but work as quickly as you can and then pop it into the fridge so it solidifies up. Once you're happy with your shapes, all you need to do is to leave them to cool for a few hours until they're completely hardened. When they're ready to serve, you can bag them up or pop them into a jar, and they're good to go. That's how easy it is to make your own mint humbugs at home with a little Harry Potter twist. So there you have it, another Harry Potter inspired recipe. If you haven't used sugarwork before, then it does take a little while to get used to, but it's definitely a technique worth learning. So give it a go and let me know how they turn out. That is all for this recipe, but if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and I will see you next Monday.